All right, Gary, why this project?
So what's interesting about the Hog Heaven project is that most of the historical work on this property was done by a private company. And it's not an early stage project. It's 722 holes, about 55,000 meters of drilling, but it hasn't seen the light of day because it was in a private company.
Right.
So nobody really knew about it. And then it was acquired by Pan American Silver. And there was a decade in the 90s of pretty low gold silver prices. In fact, the mine was permitted, a feasibility stage project. They were ready to build the mine in '89. Of course, 1990 hit. There was no economics at that point.
Right.
So it sat idle, and there was a decade of low metal prices, even when Pan American had it initially. So it just kind of sat idle. And we acquired it, Brixton acquired it a couple of years ago. And it's taken some time to compile all the data. And I had paper data, so we had to convert all that paper data into a digital model and data and fact check all that. So it's exciting for us because there's some pretty impressive silver, gold, copper numbers in the database that hasn't really seen the light of day, and it's an advanced stage project in a stable jurisdiction.
Right.
So that's exciting for us, and so now it's time. I think it's now we're ready to showcase this project to the world, and we're excited to get down there and get some drilling done.
How aggressive is your drill campaign going to be?
Well, I think that's partly a function of the market. We had, approximate budget for about maybe 6,000 feet, about 2,000 meters of drilling. And partly that is really just to confirm some of the old drilling because of the vintage of the historical drilling.
Right.
We have done some engineering work to verify the location of a number of those collars. We do have all the old core and cutting, so we're pretty confident of what we have, but we still need to do some confirmation work. And then we have a couple of areas on the property that we're excited about that had a lot of workings, but didn't see any drilling on it. So we're excited about testing some of those to see if we have more of the same, which is pretty impressive silver weighted polymetallic mineralization.
Right. Is there anyone on the team, anyone you want to highlight from the technical team?
Well, we have a strong team that's building. Soren Pusescu is our VP Exploration, and both Soren and Danette and I actually all worked together at NovaGold at Galore Creek back in 2004, 2005 when I was there, and they're both been working hard on the technical side. We have a number of consultants like Brock Riddell has been very helpful on the porphyry front for us. So our technical team is building as the company grows.
Okay. And when it comes to insider ownership, how much of this company do the insiders own?
I think we're about 7% of the company collectively.
Okay.
I personally own about 5 million shares of the 144 million shares we have outstanding.
Right.
But I think one of the interesting takeaways for the listeners is Brixton has 144 million shares out. Since mid-July 2019, we traded 104 million shares.
So it's turned over.
It's turned over a lot, and you consider our largest shareholder, which is Sprott, and other strong hands hold about 40% of the company. So we had a lot of turnover in the name. So we're impressed by that. It's certainly fairly liquid for a junior, I would say.
Yeah. What's your average daily volume?
We're in the several 100,000. 500,000 is not uncommon, and then once in a while we'll get 1 million, 1.5 million. I think Friday we traded 1.3 million shares, so it's pretty common to get a 1 million share day. Okay. But on average, it's in the several hundred to 500,000 shares.
Yeah. And so for our community members, someone that, let's say, has not watched our last video that we did or have heard about you at all, what would you say would be how can you articulate the blue sky potential that you have?
Yeah, well, I would say Brixton, Brixton has 4 wholly owned exploration assets, and each one of these assets have generated exceptional drill results. Right. You could go look at each one of them. It's more, I'd say we're more silver weighted, but it's pretty substantial gold targets. We're explorationists, so we're looking for those big discoveries. Thorn has been our flagship project up in the Golden Triangle. We have a massive land position there, and so we're excited about just about the scale of the opportunity. that we have there. I mean, Brixton has, if you follow the Golden Triangle, we have one of the largest land positions in the Golden Triangle.
And our community knows it very well, actually.
Yeah, so we're excited this year. We're going to take a bit of a step back from what we've been doing the last number of years. We're going to continue to work that main core part of the Thorn, which has been where everybody's gone to historically, including ourselves.
What mine or what past producing mine are you next door to?
The closest mine was a past producing mine called the Golden Bear, which was operated by a Gold Corp, shut down in 2000. Very high grade, like ½ ounce per ton gold material.
Yeah, the grades up in the Golden Triangle are just...
Yeah, it's some spectacular mineralization. So we actually now have, because we have ground down around the Golden Bear, we actually have potential road access. And I say potential only because the bridges have been washed out and there's not direct access yet, but there was road access into the Golden Bear mine.
Okay.
So we're taking a step back this year and looking at some of the other large-scale porphyry target that we believe we have on the property that hasn't seen any boots on the ground. So we want to get out there and basically see what else we can uncover on this massive property that we've been working a little blocks like this on a property like that.
Right.
So we think we can find some more goodies. I mean, we haven't. What's interesting about the Thorn project is we have not had a season where we didn't find something new. So every time we get out there and do stuff, we continue to find new mineralization, which is a good thing on a property like that to continue to.
There's always something exciting up there.
Always something new to find, and I mean the guys are coming back with mineralization all the time and new stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So
well, I've been there. I've been in the Golden Triangle a few times.
You know what it's like
doing
up there.
Site visits. It's pretty spectacular. But yeah, the high grade anything is not. It happens very often, but. Obviously, it's a tough landscape to drill in. Let me ask you a question. Do you notice that your stock trades a little bit seasonally because you're in the Golden Triangle? Like, do you think those people pick up the stock?
Yeah, I think so. And that's one of the reasons that we acquired the Langus property that we have. And we just recently announced that we're actually actively drilling there right now.
Right.
So we are getting that seasonality issue, but there's other factors in the market that weren't going in our direction. But we just announced a 1,000-meter drill program in Langus, Ontario.
Right.
So this is an area
silver.
Silver. It's very high-grade silver.
Yeah.
And the reason we got that is to offset that seasonality for British Columbia.
Yeah.
And even our Montana project, although we can add a bit more of a season there, it's in the mountains. They do get some snow there in the winter months. But Ontario, even though the snow is minus 25 or something on site, we can drill all year round there. We're drilling right to the site. You can go to Tim Hortons in the town and get your coffee and come out to the drill site.
That's awesome.
So it's a great access, exceptional infrastructure, and so we're drilling off some of the old workings. We went back and looked at some of the old data, and there's some really impressive silver hits that wasn't too far from the shaft number 3 that we drilled in 018. We drilled 6 meters of 4.7 kilos of silver per ton. And so we're drilling not too far from that area in an area that we think hasn't been exploited. So looks like they had drilled some holes and maybe ran a few drifts, but we're testing around there to see if they've actually exploited those. And if not, we've got building a nice little trend of some very high grade silver there. And native silver, if you've ever seen native silver in a rock, have a look at some of the stuff that Brixton has.
Wow.
We've had silver values up to 18% silver.
So I got two things we got to wrap it up here. Why did Eric pick you guys up? Was it for the silver?
When I met with Eric Sprott last year for potential investment, he was just excited about the silver opportunity in Brixton. I'd say more than, we had this hole at Thorn, hole 150. We drilled 550 meters. It was polymetallic, copper, gold, silver, lead, zinc, but it was 40 grams of silver over 550 meters.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a pretty impressive silver intercept on its own right.
Yeah. Well, I figured that's why he picked you guys up.
Yeah, and this Hog Heaven has a lot of silver as well. So So again, Brixton is more silver weighted. Yeah. But it's got a fair amount of gold targets in that mix as well.
So I'll leave it off on this note. Now, obviously, I'm biased because we help on the exposure side. But one thing as a speculator in junior mining, obviously we know it's high risk, a lot of failure. For early speculators, what are you doing to get the message out? Because I want to get in early, get a chance to take a little bit of profit, maybe take my initial investment off or a part of it. So what are you guys doing to get the message out?
Well, we have to manage our marketing budget because you can blow your brains out on marketing, and it's very difficult to quantify marketing dollars. So we're very selective. Stuff like this is just getting the word out. I just met with Mark Bunting. We're doing a little segment on BNN, just a 30-second clip with some ads. So that should get a bit of exposure for us there.
Great.
And then we're on the road quite a bit. Actually, Mitch is going down to Hartford tomorrow for a luncheon there. So selectively, we're doing stuff, but we're trying to get out and get in front of new eyes, meet some people that don't know the story yet.
Yeah.
So you have to continue to do that, but you have to be selective with your limited dollars and kind of cherry pick where sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you got to continue to get the story out there.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, let's leave it there. That's our second interview with Gary, and that's a fantastic story. As you know, there's some anchors in that stock, and we look forward to reaching back out to you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
To end it right there. See you later.